I woke up this morning to a number of orders in my system for 13 lives. We sold quite a few of our gummies, and it's been just a non-stop roller coaster with our gummies. We have hangover hydration gummies, we've got creatine gummies. But what's been interesting is Australia right now, in the business sense, going through, I would say, the hardest 5 years that it's ever had. So ever since COVID, it has been on a constant slippery slope all the way down. My name is Volko, a multiple store owner that sold his businesses in Aruba and in Randwick. And then I had another business in Melbourne, also own a sports nutrition brand called 13 Lives, which a lot of you would have seen by now. I also have a natural deodorant company here in Russia, and I sell my supplements all around the world. I do it strictly B2B, and I strictly deal with distributors around the world. Today was interesting. By all senses, it should have been a great day. And it was for me personally. I had people coming in asking me for advice on how do I deal with this next challenge? How do I deal with this next social media challenge that Australia is going through? Let me explain to you what's happening. The TGA, which is a regulatory body in Australia, is basically making advertising on anything sports nutrition almost impossible. Right? You might be thinking, well, what does this have to do with my business? If you're in gardening or in makeup or if you're in whatever, it's actually really important to you too. So, what we're going to talk about today is how to find the best possible path forward to promote your business in environments where it is becoming increasingly difficult to do so. So, in the example of Australia, you have small businesses that don't have the capital to, pay for lawyers and whatnot. They just basically have to keep their mouth shut in the best possible way forward, or do generic slop content like, those funny style reels, right? So one of the POs I got today was just for another one of my Staffless services, which is where we help accounts, we audit their account. And you can watch one of the phone calls I had with another client just recently. But what we do is we audit their social media account. We see what's wrong with their website, what's wrong with the social media account, and we see what direction they're taking. Right? And for small businesses, it's really important because they're trying to do the thing that these big businesses are doing, which is basically like retarded slop content. You can go to like any big Instagram business in the supplement space, and they're doing comedy style reels, which for engagement is sure it does something, but they're not selling supplements. They're not selling the thing that people go into the store to buy, right? And they're not being told that this is a place where serious people can go and buy stuff, right? So they've completely lost their edge. And a part of the reason they've lost their edge, they don't know how to navigate this legal environment that the government's caused them. Once again, these overregs are making it difficult. So they come to me, they're like, Volko, what do we do? How do we fix this? What can we do? And that's where I find them solutions. So one of these customers that I had this morning, really good account, been in the game for a while, but tired. Just tired of the left and right, having to constantly weave and duck for all the dramas that Australia throws at him. So I took over his socials, doing the audit, and I'm going to be moving through it. Now, just by having a quick glance at his socials, I can already see it's a very similar story to some of the other accounts that I've done. Same thing, same issue, trying to copy and paste content that doesn't apply to his specific use case. And this is where a lot of you as business people will find yourself. You're gonna be lost. You're gonna make content from just random accounts in your niche, and it's not gonna work for you. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna keep posting, and then nothing's really going to stick because you're not really passionate about it. You see it's working for someone else, but you don't see what it's actually doing for them, if it's actually doing anything at all. And then you go into the cycle of trying to be super proactive about it, and then you see no results, so you just jump out. Happens all the time. Happens to so many businesses. That's why a service like Staffless, my service, we find the micro niche in the niche. We find what makes you, your business, your particular set of skills marketable. And then we start talking about that. We build a framework around that. Now, let's say you have any business at all. It doesn't like unless you're selling, uh, the plastic stick, the chopper chops. This will apply to you. There are some businesses where their social media isn't necessarily the thing they need. They just have contracts and their legacy distributors or whatever. But for the most majority of us who are on YouTube trying to find advice, trying to move past path forward, you need to be able to speak your story, but you also not need to not waste all your time trying to speak. What I mean by that is the client I have today is really good at what he does. He's really good at you go in, he'll service you. He has incredible face-to-face information. He can tell you everything about everything. He can explain to you how this does this and how many times you should be X and Y and Z. The problem is he's got no ability to transfer that level of information to his social media. So the wider audience can see how good this particular place really is, right? And that's where we come in. We help that voice become digitized. We help that voice become social media ready. For those of you following along at the moment, that's what you got to work out. You got to first stop trying to look at everyone else. I think what you need to do, uh, I know what you need to write down on a piece of paper. Write down on a piece of paper what it is you are good at. And I want you to write it down to the point where you're not comparing yourself against the general people, but specifically within your own industry. What are you good at? Like, what is it that makes you stand out from anyone else? If someone else was to open a store or a business similar to yours, two doors down, why would a customer choose to walk into you as opposed to the guy down the street? And you have to have that answer because if you don't have that answer, all you have done is a copy and paste, and that's got to make your job a little bit more difficult. Like, can it work? Like, can you make money copy pasting? Yes. But if you're not doing it properly and you're not seeing the results, there's a reason. There's a reason. Authen- Not authentic, or you don't have the experience or the aura. So there might be reasons why it's not working. That's important to understand. But you have to understand that throughout the journey, you need to find your core, yourself, your self image within your niche, right? Now, to this day, this is a new product that I'm making. It's my InstaHo 3.0 for the European market. Could have given up and just stuck with my old formulas, but no, I knew that there is a gap. I knew that there is this little element that I had to find, had to feel, had to complete, and I did. I made the perfect formula. So I did that because I asked myself, what is it out there? What is out there? What's lacking? What can I do better? Have I already made something better? How do I make it even better? Constantly moving forward, guys. Constantly moving forward. And that is the message of this video. Find the niche in your niche. Find the niche in your niche. So I invite you guys to comment down below what sets you apart from everyone else in the industry. Promote it down below, promote your businesses. I'll see you soon.